Slow down. Do you remember as a kid when your parents used to say, slow down when you're eating too fast. Slow down, you're going to get hurt. Well, in the dental office, it's also important to slow down. Way too many times, we as doctors and dentists or healthcare providers try to rush through treatment, seeing as many patients as we can, talking as rapidly as we can, and not giving the patients the time to process the information. You have to realize that this is a foreign language to patients. When we're speaking in dentistry or medicine, patients don't understand that. As a matter of fact, neurolinguistic programming professors have taught me that people hear less than 3 to 5% of the words that we use. So what does that mean if they don't hear you? How do they process the information? They process it by the tone of your voice, what we look like. A lot of it's done visually, and also, very importantly, with the tone of our voice. So when I'm talking very rapidly like this, and I'm saying, this is what we're going to be doing, we have a vocation involvement, we have a class 2, we're going to go through this, and we're going to move this up our route, we're going to need to endo, and I'll send you over here, and everything's going to be okay. Patient only hears stress. But when I say to a patient, you have a little bit of a problem, but the good news is we have a solution for you, and we're going to take good care of you. By slowing down and connecting with another human being, you decrease their stress level, and you change the tone of the conversation. When you change the tone of the conversation, you and the patient are connecting in the same plane, as opposed to you being up here as a doctor and the patient being down here as a vulnerable person. A number of years ago, I had a consultant come to my office. Her name was Lorraine Guth. She came into my office. She said, you know, you're very good at what you do. You understand things well, but you're moving way too fast. And she spent a couple of days in my office observing me. And while my case acceptance rate was high, the stress level was also high. And there are two things that I always look at when I'm evaluating a situation: stress level and effectiveness. So I was effective. I got people to say yes to treatment, but there was so much stress involved because I was moving so quickly. I used to do something like this. Well, we're going to finish up now, and we're going to make an appointment, and I'll hear it, and my hand will be on a patient's table like this. I was talking so fast that I didn't even understand myself. I'd be touching the patient because someone told me that touching was important to make the human contact. I touched the patient lightly on the shoulder, and I'd be walking out of the room and still talking, and my conversation would trail off as I was walking down the hallway of my office, and I'd leave the patient sitting with the dental assistant or hygienist. Today I do things very differently. As my good friend Bob Levine says, I look at them eye to eye, knee to knee. What does that mean? We're at the same level. And when I'm talking to a patient, I'm about to dismiss myself, I say this following: is there anything that I said to you that you don't understand? And the patients oftentimes will ask me a question, or more frequently than not, they'll say, no, I'm all set, because they don't want to bother me. So then I stop, and I say again, no, I'm here for you. Now's a good time to ask a question if you have any. And then they'll either say yes or no. If they say no again at that time, I reach my hand out, and my dental assistant or hygienist will hand me my business card, and on my business card has my cell number and my personal email. I said, this is my personal email and cell. Please feel free to call me at any time. When's the last time a doctor gave you their cell number? I mean, you're lucky if you get their doctor's office number. Usually you just get a fax, because when we communicate with physicians, it's always by fax. So by giving them my cell number, they feel special. And they are special because they now can communicate with me. And 2 or 3 times a week, a patient will call me on my cell. It's not a big deal because I'm there from them. I'm there to be able to alleviate any strain or stress that they may have or confusion about treatment. Because let's be frank, our treatment is confusing if you don't know what's going on. We understand the language, but if you put yourself in another situation, like maybe a lawyer's office when you're under some sort of a stress, or an accountant's office at tax time, it can be very confusing. But for a patient, this is fearful. It's not only confusing, they're scared to death. By reaching out and spending the time with them and looking them eye to eye, giving them your business card with your cell phone, you're saying, listen, I'm here for you, call me anytime. It makes a big difference. So, in summary, there are 2 things I'm going to recommend. 1, slow down and be present. And the second, consider it. I'm not recommending it because you have to be comfortable with it, but consider giving your patients your contact information so they can get you at any time. Now, how often do patients abuse that contact time? Almost never. But when they do need you, you can be there for them, and that's being a truly big gift. So remember, always be there for your patients. Slow down and be the gift.